Get ready, Boss Babes, because today we're talking to the incredible Anastasija, a woman who has broken through barriers in industries where women are rarely found. From leading projects in Thailand to setting up her own factory, Anastasija's story is a journey of resilience, determination, and pure grit. Baltic Boss Babes, Unfiltered Edition, Season 2, Episode 3.
Hello everyone, I am glad to meet all of you once again. This is Aya and this is Baltic Boss Babes, and today we have another special Baltic Boss Babe with us, Anastasija Mocane. Hi Anastasija.
Hi Aya, thank you so much for having me here.
So, before we start, I just want to say that Anastasija is one of the truly inspirational women who has come here through a very long and amazing journey in her professional and private lives. So we're just gonna try to give you the gist and the very best spices from all of that she has experienced. So sit back, relax, fetch your cup of coffee or a glass of wine, whichever one you prefer, and let's just dive into it. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey. Like, what are the things and events that actually made the Anastasija you are today?
So I will start with a little story of myself. I am a Riga-born girl in a family where we had a factory. My grandfather, he was the owner of this factory, so it's like a family business, and I was part of that family business since I was 14. So during the summertime, I needed my own money. My mom and dad were not willing to give me the money I wanted, so I decided that I'll do it myself. No worries, Granddad, hire me. So I was working in a factory as an operator, then secretary, then help of the accountant, then help of the supply. And I was going through this manufacturing business, and it was incredibly interesting. So when I was in college, I did the technical college. I was in telecommunications. Don't ask me why. And I thought I will be educated with something like brand new, something modern, something interesting. We just basically had phones, and we had great opportunity to work in La Telecom or in Teledivi. So I thought it's going to be a really fun. Which in one part was, but after I completed my telecommunication, I never did a single day of work in this area. However, the technical education, it was there, and by chance, I went to the UK for the summer job. I wanted just to go there to see how it goes and improve my English, because my English was disastrous when I finished the school and college. I could speak very well Latvian and very well Russian. That's it. So I thought going to England will bring me this upper level of English. And when I arrived there, by chance, I went to the factory again. So I started to work there as an operator. I was picking up the small resistors and transistors and putting them into PCB. So that was my first job. And I saw a lot of opportunities for improvement. I was very sharing my thoughts with the supervisors, with the engineers. And one of the engineers came to me and said, Anastasija, wow, you have such an interesting technical mind. What are you doing? I say, I'm just here for summer job. And he said, maybe you should stay in the UK and study manufacturing engineering. And I thought, wow, I never even thought about that. Thank you, John. Yes, I will go and I will try. So I went to the local university in the same city, and they offered me basically what he offered, manufacturing system engineering bachelor degree. But because I was already technically educated, I didn't need to go to foundation here. And because I was already hired in the factory, they thought she can start with the first year of university. And in the UK, it's a little bit different. You have to study only 3 years for the bachelor degree. and 1 year for the master's. So I stayed in the same factory, but I was studying full-time and working full-time.
Talk about, wanting it all. I mean, that sounds fabulous.
It was really hard, but I did it for some period of time. Then I left because it was incredibly hard. I worked some student jobs. And when I was on the 3rd year, I came back to the same factory and I said, guys, I need a project. I don't want to do project just for the sake of doing it. Give me the project. I was always brave. I was always seeking for opportunity. I was never shy to ask. And they said, yeah, of course, we have tons of projects you can select. And speaking to the MD, we had this one-to-one. He said, Anastasia, but how are you going to pay your bills? I said, but Alan, for the job that I will do, obviously you will pay me. And he was shocked. He was shocked. He would never expect anybody to say that. And he said, yeah, you can have a minimum wage. So I had my degree, I had my job, and I had payment. Means I didn't need to go and look for the student work to provide the living. And it was incredible that I had enough faith and fear to do that, to say it to him. And obviously he was shocked, but he said, absolutely, yes, I think we should pay you. So I did my project and I was doing it so well because it was my stuff. I really was into it. They saw the eyes were glowing and burning, and I was staying longer time. I didn't care that, I have to go and rest. There was no rest for me. Uni project, all in. So when I finished my bachelor degree, my manager came to me and he said, Anastasia, we're hiring you as a manufacturing quality technician, and now we want you to do the master degree. And I said, no, Martin, I'm not doing master degree. Give me a break. He's like, no, while you're fresh, while you still into academic, I need you to do master degree. So they selected this degree for me, and they wanted to implement lean and agile manufacturing in the factory. So he said, everything that you will learn, I want you to implement in the factory. So that's how we started. But here was a very interesting story, which I wanted to share as a lady being in a man environment. I was a technician. I had already bachelor degree. I worked for the company 2 years, did my master's. So I said, Martin, it's time for me to become an engineer. And now there is the moment where my brain was completely changed, because he sat with me one-to-one and he said, Anastasia, you work in a very small company. Look around. Do you see any female engineer? I said, no. Do you see any female managers a part of our HR? I said, no. He said, do you think we can beat this job for you? He said, I don't think so. So I was shocked. And he was truly honest with me. He was not trying to upset me or something. He was just sharing this. And I said, Martin, what should I do? He said, you should go to the company where is diversity, equality, the company that is seeking for opportunity for female to become who they want to be. And of course, I took this very seriously. I was shocked. I was crying. I didn't, he was like telling me you have to leave without telling me I have to leave. So but he said, he was very supportive. He said, there is a company, which is huge company, Johnson's Control it was. I will call my ex-colleagues and they will take care of you. In the parallel, I thought, no, I cannot go where people want me to go. I'll try to find my own position. So I applied for numerous big companies, and one of these big companies was Caterpillar. These big excavators. They called me 2 weeks later, invite me to the interview, and hired me straight away. So it was such a fast transaction from that job to a new job. And I tell you why. This is another really interesting story about equality, diversity, and being in the different in big corporation. So my new boss, Paul, after we worked for period of time, he said, Anastasia, when I hired you, I did so many ticks for myself as a manager because you were international, you were foreigner, you had master degree, you were female and engineer. Can you imagine how successful I am as a manager? So it was not me, Aya, it was him. But the luck, my luck, which I obviously think I'm not doing anything special, but I'm taking opportunities and I'm taking the luck. So that's how it led me to a next career. And then from Caterpillar, I moved to Rolls-Royce. I was building Phantom, the new Phantom, which came out in 2018, and the Cullinan, 2017, and Cullinan, which came out 2018. And there I was just a consultant. So they hired me not as an employee, but as a consultant. And that's where I started my business career. Mm-hmm. So from that, I left. I was living in Italy, worked in Goodwood in the UK and in Germany for BMW. Mm-hmm. That's a special story. I think we need to record entire different podcast to talk about this kind of people.
Yeah.
But we will not go deep into it.
Probably not this time. Sorry, folks.
Yeah. And then when I left, due to the... I found a husband and I was deep in love. He was in Latvia. I was in Italy. I decided that I completed my project and I can go back home and get married and settle my female dream, because I was always a girl. I wanted to be married. I wanted to create family. So I came back to Italy and then I was completely stuck. In Latvia, I had no opportunity at all. I was searching, I was crying, I was depressed because I went to some really big companies. I will not name them. No need to know, but yes, I went to big factories and they said, you're overqualified. We don't know what to do with you.
There you go. I mean, in one country, you just do it all and then you come home and they said, sorry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this also happens sometimes. And I mean, whatever, the only thing that you can actually do from situations like this is just accept it the way it is and see what could be the next steps. But I mean, we all know how it feels to be stuck in a situation and think that this is the end of the world. And then you're not even capable of thinking about the next few steps, let alone, thinking about getting married, husband and family, etc. So yeah, I mean, that must have been tough.
It was. But I was driven. I was not losing faith that I can still do what I love to do. And generally, I'm very communicative person. I like talking to people. I like making relationship with people. So I had a really good network in the UK. And one of my ex-colleagues, he called me and he said, Anastasia, I have a new project for you. I said, okay, tell me. It's Thailand. I said, no way, Thailand. He's like, here. In my head, I had no imagination that I could go to Thailand to a factory to do something. Yeah. And he said, but it's going to be a little bit different, but speak to your new boss. So Martin called me and he said, Anastasia, I need you to be a quality process improvement consultant with an opportunity to grow further. He didn't tell me which opportunity it is, but for me, Thailand factory, good salary was already blast. I said to my husband, we must go. He said, yes, let's do it. So he actually left his job and he came with me to Thailand because otherwise I would not go. I would not leave my family behind. But for him, it was really incredibly supportive step because he had his career as well. And for the sake of my future, because I was not manager yet, I was still engineer. But there was a promise, and I believed in it truly, that I have opportunity there. So when we came to Thailand, after 2 months, my boss offered me a position of quality director. I was shocked. I never been manager. From engineer director to the director. So I said, Martin, it's impossible. No, he said, I'm with you. I'm here. I'm for you. So we'll do it together. And what was the most lucky situation that my team was 3 ladies and 1 gentleman. And these 3 Thai ladies, they looked at me like I was a little sister for them. And they decided to teach me how to be a good manager. Even they didn't know I don't have opportunity. So they decided that they will help me by themselves. And it was incredible because they were much older than me, all of them. The majority of them was senior managers with a great experience. So they were guiding me and leading me. And Martin even didn't need to care about this stuff. We did it all together as one team.
Oh, that's amazing.
And truly, I think Thai people, in their soul, in their mind, in their creativity, they're the most interesting people to work with. If you ever have chance to go to Asia and Thailand and work there, just small project or something, you will absolutely love it. It's completely different culture. Buddhism, it comes, they care, they love, they support. It's one of the most wonderful experiences.
That's amazing. Would you be able to say that they are one of the pivotal people that you met in your life?
I think so, yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, every one of us should be fortunate enough to meet at least 1 or 2, even 3. If you meet 3, like very influential people in your life, that's already a lot. So I think you're very fortunate. And yeah, I really do wish to all of you ladies and guys who are listening to us right now that you actually can say that you have met somebody, or actually deeply believe that there is going to be somebody crossing your path that is going to have a major influence on you, and you are going to be, sitting in a conference room like this a few years from then and say, yes, I mean, those people were the amazing ones that actually changed my life around. And not even professionally. I mean, it feels like they did a lot of things for you personally as well.
For my personality, absolutely. I will give you 2 fantastic examples. One example was when they saw me losing temper. And in Asian culture, you are not allowed to lose temper. You cannot shout because that means that you cannot control your emotions and you are weak. So you lose your face in front of others. When my subordinate, she saw me losing, she just dragged me like quietly, nobody understood even, to the office. And she said, Anastasia, I really understand that you're really pissed off now, but listen to me. This is Thai culture. If you scream or growl or shout, you will lose respect to all people around you. Do you want that? I said, of course not. So she said, count until 5 or 10 or wherever. Please come down. And if you want to give a row or you want to scream and shout, you can take that person into your office room, close the curtains, and scream as much as you want.
Well, I always am. I'm all for one-to-one, face-offs. I have had meetings personally when I am 5 against 1 me. Yeah, like this kind of evaluation, reporting back type of a situation. And then when 5 people are kind of looking on top of you and telling all kinds of things that, okay, they do mention good stuff, but it's also plenty of, you could work on that. This is not well enough, da, 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 da. And then at the end of that meeting, I was just weeping, crying. And that is definitely not a situation you would want to see yourself in. So I'm all for, if you want to scream at a person, do it alone in person. They might leave the room crying afterwards, but at least you won't embarrass yourself in front of others, and you are not going to embarrass this other person in front of others. So yeah, absolutely respect regarding that. Definitely.
And the second lesson I learned with the same team, it was that, so as I mentioned, 3 ladies and 1 gentleman. So this 1 gentleman refused to work with me. He said, she's a foreigner, she's young, she's white, she's like everything that I will not follow. So instead of, making some fuss and scandals and behind your back things, the ladies, they came to me to the office, all 3 of them, and they said, Anastasia, we have to tell you something. We have this situation where one of our colleagues cannot work with you with his own reasons. So what we need to do now, and this is what they were telling me what to do. And I was just sitting there like a student and listening. They said, basically, he is in this position for 15 years and he has an incredible amount of experience. So we could use his experience in our facility because he was leading suppliers and working outside of the company with others. So we can bring his knowledge into the factory and let him work on a shop floor, but not as still he will be manager or senior manager. So please speak to the directors of the factories and let's find him a best spot. So I said, wow, this is genius. This is genius, ladies. Let's do that. So I went to my Martin and I said, Martin, I did not explain, go into deep, why, what. I said, great opportunity for us to use this greatest mind and experienced person, but in the factory. Let's switch. Let's make this lady to be responsible for suppliers and this gentleman responsible for this production stuff. He said, yeah, great, fantastic idea. Let's do it. So he actually spoke to his directors and one of them hired him in a position that he was dreaming about for a long time. So it was win-win for both of us. And of course it was stressful. Of course I was hurt. Yes, it was a lot of this balance situation because from one side there is ego. From one side, I don't accept it. How? Why somebody doesn't want to work with me? He doesn't even know me. He didn't give me a chance, you know? But from another side, what I've learned and what I'm using in my leadership activities is that every single person has a talent and every single person deserves a special place for him that suits him. So let's try to find this place.
This should be like a mantra in life. Honest to God, everybody. When I was coming here, I heard this thing on the radio where VJ was actually saying that, yeah, you know, like we have this listener who sent in a quote of the day type of a thing, and the quote said, you know, like if forever, for the whole life, you are gonna teach a chicken to climb a tree, it will think it's stupid. So please don't, you know, like, and it means that the chicken is in the wrong place, you know, because it doesn't know how to climb a tree. It can't. It obviously understands that, you know, in some way it's not able to. But once you put it in the right spot, in the hen bin, where it can lay eggs and eat and, you know, fulfill its purpose, then it's going to be happy. And the same thing applies to people and, you know, the same situation here. And, you know, like while you were telling the story, I was like, damn, like this is actually the thing that is very, very important, you know, like you have to reevaluate yourself at times to see, you know, like if something is going like awfully wrong all the time for a long period of time, and you for sure can promise yourself and to others that you have made maximum effort to do your best and it's still not flying, then definitely you're in the wrong place. Like, listen, ladies and guys, definitely you're in the wrong place if something like that happens. And then you have to think like, which would be the place that I would be happy to be in? And maybe the opportunity arises, right? So be as open as Anastasija is, right? You know, like, and the opportunities will present themselves. That does happen. So yeah, that's amazing.
And the same one applies after I've learned this lesson. It was great lesson. I had to fire a few people, and firing people also comes to not you don't fit to the business and we don't know what to do with you, but you cannot express yourself in this business. You are not yourself within this business. And we given you opportunity to go out, and it sounds cruel, but I was always convinced that if person goes out, it will find exactly the place where it should be. So changing the place, it's also really, for me, I'm changing all the time. I'm not staying in one company for longer than 4 years, you know. And I think I will. Don't listen to me, my future CEOs, yeah, but this is how I will be, yeah. I like to come, do maximum of what I can do, but not go into this deep purva, to deep dam,
Yeah.
Yeah. To the stagnation until I had done everything. And now I'm ready to move. So people, change your works, move things, move jobs within the business. Yeah? Try different stuff, and then you will be happier because you need to always improve your skills. You need to develop. Yeah. And staying in the same job all the time does not give you this great opportunity to learn and see things from another angle.
True. Yes.
And when I had my development, I think it was in Caterpillar, they sat with me and they said, Anastasia, do you want to be an expert or do you want to be a manager? And at that time, I was 25, I was engineer, and I said, definitely expert. I don't want to take care of the people. They always complain. It's difficult. I want to be an expert. But he said, who you want to be in the future? I said, I want to have my own factory.
Huh.
He said, okay, but do you understand that having your own factory, you need to understand logistics. You need to understand, okay, you understand quality, you understand production, you understand procurement, but you have another big spectrum of things that you will need to understand, and it's finances, your human resources. And you need to work in these positions for the best. To become a best CEO and the best, in a paradise, in a perfect world, you need to understand all. So his advice was actually genius. And I said, okay, I will try. I want to try here. I want to try there. I want to try. And I was doing it. And that's how I'm CEO now. But I'm CEO who tried different angles of the business. And I'm still lacking, like big time. I know that I'm lacking financial part of the business because I always had a really strong CFOs or really, really strong chief accountants that were leading, and you never needed to deep dive in and understand. But I'm still feeling that this part is missing. Even when you're operational director, to understand how finances go, how much resources cost. We just doing some project with Portugal, and we started to calculate the resources, and I was shocked. I never thought that human resource is so expensive. Yeah, I thought, okay, raw materials, labor cost in production, yes, that's expensive. But when we were talking about engineering
are costing the most, yes. All like this virtual work, I think, like calculating everything, drawing everything, it goes everywhere. IT, construction, manufacturing, like so that we could get to the things that we can actually touch. There's a whole mass of things that has to be calculated, drawn, and then this is what you actually pay for, the human mind in the end.
So I will carry on complete my story.
Yeah.
Not long left. So we came back from Thailand. Okay, it was a family decision. My husband wanted to go back to his career. I was already with experience director. So coming back to Latvia, being extremely anxious and extremely thinking that it's impossible because I will not find anything. I had no faith that Latvia can give me something. But within these 4 years, a lot of things changed. We started to get startups. Yeah, because when I was first time looking for the job in 2016, there was not much happening in Latvia. But I am extremely lucky that we have startups now. And they are different. We have manufacturing startups, we have IT startups, we have, you name it. Latvia actually became really good hub of the startups. And I had a call from this lady. She was following me on LinkedIn. As I was in parallel, I was looking for the job, but I was not willing to go anywhere. I wanted to carry on my career and grow to the level when I have to open my own factory. Yeah. So I still have my goal. She called me and she said, Anastasia, I was following you on LinkedIn. I think you have incredible technical path in your career. Would you be interested to work in a startup? I was always in big corporations, big companies with very stable, always have money. There is no even talking about not receiving salary or waiting for it, And at that time, I was not even thinking about these risks, Startup, try. So I came to the startup. And it was at the time, it was drone manufacturing company. Incredible team, fantastic CEO. Really, everyone was inspired by this product. We had crazy and great clients that were helping us to improve, to create the product as it is now. And I was doing customer support, and I was doing manufacturing, setting up the manufacturing site. Then I was helping with sales. Startup, you do everything.
We don't have CEOs, CFOs, we have CDOs,
Yes. And we were, again, I think it's a luck. The team was there without this, oh, this is my job description. So everyone was not sleeping, staying on the weekends. I think we would just did crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. We achieved what we wanted, but then it was breakdown. I broke down. I thought maybe it's age, maybe it's emotional. I don't know. I cannot explain. But one morning I woke up and I cannot move at all. I am vegetable. I cannot smile. I cannot think. I cannot do anything. I was just broke down. Yeah. So I ran to the doctor, and doctor told me, measured the blood, and he said, you have this proper real breakdown. And for me, I never even thought I am capable of breaking down. Full of energy, full of motivation. I have my goals. And he said, it's okay, 4 months without weekends, without sleeps. Of course, we were also, there and there with the clients. We had wines and beers, and, life was extremely busy.
Tense, yeah.
And I did not realize my body cannot do that all. So recovery with the psychotherapy, support from the company was incredible. They said, okay, if you need to take rest, please take rest. We cannot push you. We cannot make you. Oh, there was no question. I had a 2 months rest. I was recovered. They actually, it was VP operations position that I received in the startup. And I was doing basically overlooking all the operations. So I came back, and then the war started. And we created a product that goes to the war. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I love you, I love team, I love product, but I'm not dealing with this. When military business goes to defense, it's one thing. When military business goes to attack, it's another thing. So couldn't do it. So I switched. Actually, in the event of exhibition of the drone in Amsterdam, I met CEO of another company that also producing drones, but for mapping, for geodesy, for all the collection of the data, but for the industry, for the commercial use. And at that time, he said, Anastasija, join our team. You're amazing. We really need somebody like you. And I said, no, I'm here. I'm comfortable here. That was before the breakdown. So after having a good rest, I think I took 6 months or 8 months of rest. I started to draw mandalas. I started to listen to affirmations. I was doing a lot of yoga. We moved to the forest, so I was walking a lot, taking very slowly. I understood that I am the only one. So after the good rest, I came to this company where I'm now. I am a COO, and we are building my factory.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And I was about to say, and probably, you are a few steps away from realizing, and now you actually are doing.
We are, and even if the factory will not financially but it doesn't matter for me.
Yeah.
The dream is here. It's right in front of me, and I'm doing it. So I need to set up a new goal.
Well, that is actually the beauty of it. Once you are, you can draw a big tick in that checkbox, right? Factory done. And then, it's a half a year of celebration. Then it's like, okay, so what's next? And then, It's basically the same thing you said about, letting people out, like you are going to have this out again and then you can figure out what is the next amazing thing that you are going to achieve. And that is actually a pretty cool place to be, I think.
And what is another, I think, interesting thing to reflect about me? My CEO, he knows that it's a project for me, and he knows one day I will leave, but he supports me with that. So what I'm saying, be transparent, be honest. Say, I will complete what we agreed. I will do it. But then I also have my own dreams. I have my own life. I'm not here to be, all yours for the rest of the life. Be transparent, and then he will be prepared maybe to go with somebody else, and life is not what I've learned, that life is not rude, it's not arrogant, it's not nasty. Life is very nice and very motivational, and if you are transparent, things with communication understands much. It's hard to explain, but if you are transparent, you're not lying to yourself and you're not lying to people around you, then things will come complementary to both.
Yes.
Of
That is
you.
a good. I was about to say, that probably there might be some teens listening to this and saying like, "What do you know about life not being hard?" But guys, you will grow up in a few years and you will see what she means. But yeah, I mean, being like, if you don't complicate things and like put up false expectations towards yourself or towards somebody else, then definitely it gets nicer for sure. Like then. Okay, I can't really say that nothing will surprise you, but you are not going to be shocked in a negative way, I think, because you're going to say, okay, I was open about this and they were open about them things, so we both know where we stand.
Exactly.
And it actually applies to almost anything, right? So yeah, definitely that is worth implementing in your life. It's kind of interesting, like how usually these episodes are going, like we have so many different kind of women and so many different kind of conversations, and this conversation was mainly about your career, and in the end it's still very interesting to learn a few, I wouldn't even say a few, quite a few or a lot of things that actually can be very interesting. So yeah, I mean, just to have a little bit of cherry on top for our conversation. You said that you started drawing mandalas and going out, and it was kind of a part of, you getting better. And, I do know as well myself how it is to, be in a wrong place and put up false expectations towards something and then burn out and then not knowing what to do with yourself. So been there, done that. Like what I wanted to talk to you about was a little bit more about your, maybe rituals or things that you do. Like, for example, you have a very important meeting. Like, what is the thing that you do to prepare yourself for it? Or maybe how do you relax after a very intense day? Like, what is your, like, these little hacks that you do to actually feel amazing about yourself when you go to sleep and wake up the next morning?
Before the breakdown, I used to drink wine. Yeah, a glass of wine to relax. But then I learned that it's actually draining me more than giving me energy. So after the breakdown and me being more calm and more into this, I would say, esoterical stuff, like mandalas and numerology and all that, I've learned there that sitting down for 10 minutes and trying to stop your thoughts will give you energy in the morning, in lunchtime, in the evening, at any time. So if I feel that I have a very, usually for me, it's a big amount of people in the same time. So it's an exhibition or some clients coming over with a delegation. So I would lock myself into the room and I would set up my alarm for 10 minutes and I would just sit down and just try to breathe through my nose and try to stop the thoughts. How do I do it? I imagine that the thoughts are like clouds. So they are floating in front, and I just, like a wind, I push them out. I push them out, I push them out, and and after I'm doing it for 5-7 minutes, this is practice. You need to practice. Then it becomes like completely blank. You have nothing, but you, with the alarm, come out like completely refreshed person. Like the most powerful thing that I do if I need to get energy back into me. But another life hack that I love, and I do it every single day without missing, is affirmations. I set up on YouTube affirmation. Sometimes I'm divine. Sometimes I'm a miracle. Sometimes I'm a feminine. Sometimes I'm successful. And it's different affirmation things. And I just repeat after the guided affirmations. So I don't make my own, but I'm following.
You're like a chanting with it.
I'm chanting with it. And I have 40 minutes affirmation. First, she's saying you. So I accept it as she's talking to me. And after she says, now it's time for you to repeat. And I repeat after.
That's me.
Yeah. You cannot imagine how my mornings are. I'm just full. Everybody, when I come to the office, and there is no lie, people come to touch my energy because I'm already fulfilled. I'm already super energized, and they want this energy. And I have enough to share.
You're like the sunshine that enters the office, and everybody's so happy to see. And then there's somebody cranking in the office. Oh my God, again, she's here. I need my coffee first.
But the crazy thing, I know it sounds really crazy, but when somebody in front of me start to get really aggressive or want to growl and shout and stuff, I'm just sitting looking at that person, and I'm sending sparkles from the universe on the top of the head of this person. It doesn't change the person, but it changes my reaction to this negativity.
Yes.
And I'm just like a blessed sparkling sparkles on the top of the person's head. Helps me.
I can imagine. I mean, this is work with, like if you want terms, my dears, it's work with visualizations and affirmations. So basically, you can visualize, like we actually did try with friends at some point, like a little game, like something small. Like, for example, I have had days when I was like, nah, I wish my boyfriend would give me flowers. And I kind of, immerse myself in that feeling, how happy I am when I see it. And I swear to you, it has happened a few times with that, like in the morning I said, oh, it would be amazing if he came home with some, flowers. And he actually does. And I promise you, I haven't hinted or anything to him. So, and like these little things, like for example, I wish there were muffins on the table at the office, but you really have to kind of imagine that and just play around with it and see, maybe that can happen. So, yeah.
The great book, which is written by Jacandi, the same author that wrote Secret, he has it's my favorite now. I'm listening to it all the time. I listened like 5 times, and I will carry on listening. It's the rich pocket full of money. And it's nothing to do with the money. It's to do with your inner, with your perspective, how you treat people, how you treat life, how you feel yourself within this life. And it gives so many insights. It gives so many life hacks. And that's why I'm keep repeating, listening to it, because each time I'm a listener, I'm not a reader. So I'm listening to all my books. And if I feel down, if I feel somehow somebody upset me, because it happens,
of course,
I get upset, I put this book, and then it wipes all my problems out, because it just gets me back into where I really need to be. And I extremely suggest you, if you never read this book is about quantum thinking and how we really need to be in this world to be rich, and rich not with the money only, but just generally feel rich with life.
Yes, exactly. Like be appreciative of everything that you have in the end.
And very interesting fact, and it's fact, yeah. After I listened to this book first time, I started to receive more and more interesting projects and interesting offers. So I'm working now on 4 projects, where in Latvia I couldn't find any job. Now I'm with 4 projects, and most of them startups, but people give me opportunity to, to use my experience, not just stuck in one job and be bored. Yes, sometimes I don't sleep at night or go in too late, but with my ritual, what I've learned about sleep. Sleep is essential. It's without sleep, nothing. So I try to go sleep before 11 because the hormones will start work, the correct hormones at correct time. And I try to not oversleep, because if I oversleep, I feel much worse than if I undersleep. So 7-8 hours. I wake up, sometimes I go to bed 10 and I wake up at 6. Sometimes I can wake up at 5. But with this, I think this book started to change everything around me. And since I started to control my sleep, to do affirmation, things started naturally coming to me rather than me going and dragging them into me. And that's how my, don't know what is the name in English, пространство, surroundings, surroundings started to change to benefit me.
Yeah. This is what happens when you are in harmony with yourself. So definitely. Right. We are officially out of time, and I hope that you guys had a wonderful listen. Thank you so much, Anastasija. It's been a pleasure, and so many inspirational things coming out of you. I swear we could talk for hours more. As you know, it's always like this with you wonderful ladies. But yeah, we have to finish today, and thank you guys so much for listening. We also want to thank Workland for sponsoring us and giving amazing facilities, and also don't forget to subscribe and follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram. We have amazing things popping up every day there, and look out for the next episode that is going to come out soon. Thank you, everybody, and bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
That's a wrap for episode 3 of Baltic Boss Babes, Unfiltered Edition. A massive thank you to Anastasija for sharing her incredible story of resilience and ambition. If you love this episode, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram for more inspiring conversations. Until next time, keep chasing those dreams and breaking down barriers, boss babes.